Hello and welcome back. I'm your friendly neighborhood technician. Today, what we got to do is we got to replace some instrument cluster bulbs. And when I'm doing that, I'm actually have several different bulbs that I'm going to try and see which ones I like, which ones I don't like, and whatnot. So, but yeah, last night when I was driving, I noticed that the left side gauges, the light was not on for that, just the right two, and even the center one was kind of dim. So I can show that to you now. Even though it's still a little bit bright, you can still see that this side doesn't turn on at all, just the center and the right. So we're going to get to removing the cluster, and we're going to try a couple different bulbs. Okay, so the three bulbs that I have are these three right here. These two are Mercedes bulbs. These are just some aftermarket LEDs that I want to try just to see how bright they are. Now, the bulb that is supposed to be in here would fit right between these two bulbs. This is a 2 watt, that's a 5 watt. This is more for like a side marker bulb, and this is probably more for like a warning light bulb or something like that. The one that are supposed to be in there are actually supposed to be 3 watt, and we don't have any of those. So I'm going to try the 2s, and because the 2s are going to be better than a burned out bulb either way. 5 is going to be too bright, but I think 5 might create a little too much heat to be in there also. I'm not sure. I would expect a 5 watt to create more heat than a 3 watt. And then we're going to try these just to see how super bright they actually are. First thing you got to do is, before you start, you have to pull down that section of carpet right there. And if you have a mechanical speedometer, you have to pull that carpet down and unclip the speedometer cable that goes right down in that general area right there. It goes down behind the carpet. Unclip it so you can have room to pull the instrument cluster farther out. And next, you're going to want to use your combi hooks, like this is what they're called, and you basically want to stick it. I've already pulled this out some because I don't want to be struggling on video for however long it took me to get this thing out. So you have to stick it back here, and you have to turn it and stick it in base like that. Then you're gonna have to turn it 90 degrees that way, so this can actually hook on the back of. You don't want to hook on and pull on the trim right here because you might break the trim. You need to get it farther back, get it farther back in like that, then turn, and then get it hooked on, and then you pull it out. So basically you do that on both sides, and you're probably gonna have to get both of them in there, and then you're gonna have to rock it side to side. You have to pull on this side, pull on that side. Basically go back and forth, and it'll work its way outwards. Also, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to adjust the steering wheel as close to the driver as possible. That way you have room to actually remove the instrument cluster. Okay, on this one, I'm not going to remove the instrument cluster completely because there's about 9,000 connectors back there. You can see back there, there's all the connectors for the indicators, for the warning light bulbs, all along the other side. There's a connector here. There's all these connectors on the back. There's that one right there. So I'm just gonna remove just the bulbs, which is, there's one right here, and there's one on the other side. This one only has 2 instrument cluster lights, though. I don't know if you can see it very well. There is a 3 watt W3W, but 3 watt. So let's start with the 2 watt. Focus. You're just going to install the bulb in the little holder and then put it in the back of the cluster. All right, here's the 2 watts. Yeah, pretty dim. All right, let's go to 5 watt. And here we go with the 5 watt. Yeah, you can see those are kind of brighter. Still yellow, but let's switch to the LEDs. Those are supposed to be white. Okay, now here are the LEDs. Now, those aren't as bright as I thought, but they are whiter, even though on the camera, the left side over here looks like it's yellower than that side, but they're both the same amount of yellow, or the same amount of white actually. So I actually kind of like those. Okay, a little word of warning. When you get the aftermarket LED bulbs, these ones came with these other holders. These don't fit actually. The tabs right here are different. They don't fit in the back of the instrument cluster, so I just used the ones that the old bulbs came out of, this bulb right here, and also these specific LED bulbs. These ones right here, these aftermarket ones I ordered off Amazon, they're not the brand that I ordered, but who cares, they work. But that brand, actually, I did have to do a little bit of modification to this bulb to actually get it to fit, because this right here is a little bit bigger around than your regular instrument cluster bulb. You can see how much bigger around it is. So all I had to do is I had to trim off basically this white part right here, basically this little plastic piece right there. It's kind of hard to get my phone to focus, but yeah, that bottom plastic piece right there to make it that much narrower, that much thinner, to actually get in the back of your instrument cluster, and it works. When you're going back together, you want to make sure you don't lose all of these rubber pieces that go on the top of the instrument cluster. They go right there. There's one right in the middle, and then there's one right there. So you want to keep track of those and reinstall those if they fall off. Okay, what I like to do whenever I put these back in, you can see I got those reinstalled. I like to put a spot of sunroof grease on them because it doesn't smell if it gets hot. Not like red grease, you're going to smell it, but this stuff ain't cheap either. A001989 something or other 51. I'm sure you'll be able to find it. I'm just going to put a spot of that on each one of those and then push the cluster back in. And then after you get the sunroof grease or any kind of non-smelly grease put on there, then all you have to do is just gently shove it back. Just put a thumb on each side, push it back, and then it goes right in like butter. So that's it for today's video, another short one. Thank you for watching, and as always, give me the thumbs up, hit subscribe, and hit the notification icon so you get a notification when I post a new video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.